Hello, my dear gardeners. Garden is growing by the day, especially after the big rain we experienced. Here in Connecticut, we had 2 days of rain. And after a somewhat busy and long day, it is good to be back into the garden. So today I'm taking you along and we are adding little wonderful touches to the garden. I have handmade birdhouses to place around the garden, and we're going to work on my urn, which I made, DIY cement urn, which I still didn't plant. So we're going to move it under our shady area and see if that plant needs a special base, because I have a feeling that that plant can get lost because it will be so close to the ground, but we will see. I will ask my husband to move it together with me, and then I see Azalea, which is ready to be trimmed because we have white Azalea here, and it is growing it's blooming just ahead of my generous gardener rose, and the blooms are becoming brown and it gets all unsightly. So I don't want that unsightliness to exist while generous garden is coming in its beautiful, wonderful blooming time. So I probably will be doing that too. And some other delightful little things which make garden just wonderful. So stay with me and let's garden together. I made, when the days were cold and it was winter time, I made 3 bird houses. And by the way, here's a video how I did them. So I basically took little wooden bird houses from the store and adjusted them to look fairy tale-ish. Right? Fairy tale-ish. So the birds didn't want to inhabit them. I planted them too close together. I put them into the soil on big rods too close together. So now is the time to move them around and give it another chance for maybe birds get acquainted with them again and maybe move in. So one I already placed, and together with this fence, which I did just several days ago. By the way, it's such a good addition. Again, here's the video how I made it. I painted all these white spots, white cuts into a grayish stain for them not to look so fresh, right? So together with this fence and my birdhouse right here in the front, come and see. It is so cute. Look where I placed it. These 2 details literally changed the appearance of my house. Look at this. And I made a hole deep there between my bushes, and I just put this house on the rod, as you can see, right? And it's not really stable, so I tied the string here and I put it to the trunk, tied it to the trunk of the tree for it not to fall. And hopefully it withstood the 2 days of rain, so it looks so good. It makes this area so unique in a way, right? Together with that fence. And by the way, I have one suggestion. In case you are trying to do, quite a few of you told me that you're trying to do this edging, wattle edging. One suggestion, what I learned from this thing. If you're doing the weaving like waves, you need like corners, don't end your sticks on the corner. Do all the flat sticks, the main body of the sticks here where you have to do the corner, and then hide these sticks somewhere here, because look, I finished a lot of sticks and I started a lot of sticks at the bend and it doesn't really look good. It would be better if this edge would be smooth and well pronounced. So that's one thing which I learned from making like a wavy wattle edge, not a straight one. Again, it looks so good, and together with that birdhouse, it's making my entrance to my house like a little fairy tale. So I have 2 more houses. Let's go to the back and let's place them. One near my generous gardener rose, and another, again, the green surface of my Japanese holly, which will look just like a cherry on the cake. Well, the second birdhouse will go right here. There is a little bit of a spot on my generous garden without any flowers. And every year I'm thinking, maybe I just put unproductive cane there. But every year that spot is just not blooming. So I'm assuming that it's too much shade and my generous gardener is refusing to produce blooms there. So I'm going to place my birdhouse and will turn into this corner in something pretty and beautiful. Well, before doing it, I want to take care after this beauty, which was beauty only 1 week ago, and while I was making my beautiful cement pot, you were all admiring white, gorgeous azalea behind my back. Well, that beauty lasted only a week, and now azalea is going into this very unsightly brown color. And what I'm going to do, which I'm doing by the way every year, and I advise you to do the same, I am going to give it a trim. And with that I will achieve two things. First, I will take care of all this brown stuff. This azalea is growing on the sun, so it is particularly plagued by mites and scales. I will shave all them off. My azalea will be a little bit bald, but I'm going to fertilize it, give it a nice fish emulsion, and it will perk up within 2 weeks. Beautiful green leaves will start to show up, and it will be just ready when gorgeous, generous gardener, just look at this beautiful thing, is ready to bloom. So here I have my hedge trimmer. By the way, you were asking which one I'm using. This is a little bit bulky, so I see that there are lighter versions on Amazon, so you're advised to do that, but I will give this reference to this under this video. So I'm going to do that, shape it up, and by the way, you see this thing on top? It's not a coincidence. I did the same round ball in the front of my house on two yews growing on both sides of my entrance, and finally it's starting to get that nice round shape, so it looks good. And I'm trying to achieve the same here. It's a little bit still light. There are not many branch divisions here, but hopefully this year I will nicely shape it and this would be more pronounced. We'll see. And after this, I'm going to place my birdhouse with you there, and this area will have this extra beautiful touch, like fairy tale touch. All right, now it's time to give my azalea a little bit of fish fertilizer. Quite a stinky business, I must say. Just a little bit, maybe 3 spoonfuls go here. So I have here, how many gallons? 5 liters, so it's just over 1 gallon of water. I added 3 spoonfuls of fish emulsion, and my azalea will get a nice little snack to be able to push all that greenery. And by the way, this is the birdhouse I'm going to show you, which I made, and now we are going to place it just behind there. I think it will look very good, and it will be extra bonus if the bird would be able to live there, because that's kind of quiet there. I hope the birds will find this nest and will figure it out. The birdhouse. Let's see. I will show you. Look at this little fellow. It looks so cute. Let me figure out how deeply I have to put it down for it to be nice and sturdy. Get you, get you, get you. Good morning, lovely gardeners. Yes, it is morning. My camera died yesterday. It was too late to film. I finished settling this birdhouse, and here I am again in the morning with you, which is another glorious day in the garden. So this looks good, yes, but what I want to do with it, I want to hide this pole because it looks a little man-made, which it is. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect this beautiful my generous gardener cane, and no, I can't do it. No, I can do it. And attach it to the birdhouse. Although I should have done it before I installed the birdhouse. You know what? It's not a biggie. I'm going to take it out and put it in this loop. Here we go. Put it back where it belonged. Sorry, Rose. Right? And then reattach. Oh. Maybe something like this, or something back to where it was. Okay, let me see. Not bad, not bad. I will tie my rose here and let my birdhouse sit here, and eventually my azalea will raise up here to this level pretty fast. It looks, poor thing, it looks a little spent here, and we'll cover this pole even more, and then roses will rise up and will cover here, and then we will have this beautiful birdhouse right here. What do you say? Pretty good. Maybe, you know what I can do? I can go even further. I can attach this here and that there. Yep, that's what we are going to do. Let me get another tie and put this here. Marvelous, marvelous. Here we go. My beautiful birdhouse is going to be framed with a ring of roses, almost like a ring, right? Nothing here, but roses here, roses there, all around. And generous gardener has a tendency to flop those long stems, so let's see how that will behave here. It will look quite interesting. We will see. I will keep you posted. And maybe the bird will find this house. I'm hoping. The birdhouse is all set up, looking very good. Now let's move our attention to the cement pot, which I did the other day. So my folks helped me to move it to its permanent position. And I'm not sure if I like what I see here. You can see it right here. The bottom is covered by a little hosta which softened during the transportation of this extra heavy pot. It looks a little bit one-sided, so we have to adjust it. I think that it looks too gray here, too low. It doesn't have the prominent space here. The problem can be that it's not planted, so you see, and me, we see all that unsightly hole in the middle. So let me plant my poor little coleus here, suffering alone in the pot. Let me plant it out there and see how that changes the situation. Otherwise, I cannot see the base. Oh, poor hosta. Oh no, it twisted itself in the way it wanted. Interesting. Okay, so you don't see the base here very well. It's kind of lost in the foliage, and I assume everything will be becoming bigger and bigger. It's not to its full grown capacity here. Look how it's changing. Doesn't it look good? Although Ajuga needs to be controlled now. So I'm going to make soon, maybe today, tomorrow, and I will show you, I'm going to make a pedestal for this container. And it has to be, I don't know in which design it has to be, I have to think about it, but I will keep you posted. So meanwhile, let me plant coleus in and see how this changes, this area changes with the plants inside of my urn. I didn't think, when I was making this pot, I didn't think that the water will get stuck in these grooves. There's nowhere for it to escape, so this pot is definitely only for annuals, maybe covered for the winter, for water and ice not to get in here in between, and it's permanently outside. I just need to not to forget to cover it for the winter. Otherwise, what do you think? Coleus, mighty Coleus, is slightly sickish looking right now. It will perk up. So still, I'm voting for the base, strong, high base like this, to raise it up above the foliage of hostas, and it will elevate the spot. It will make the spot as a centerpiece here. What do you think? Here comes the birds. My dear gardeners, I will keep you posted. Probably the next video would be this pedestal. And I'm going to talk to my sister. She's an artist. You know, she's a professor at the university, is a professor of art. So she will know exactly in which design to make this pedestal. We will see. So off I go to make this pedestal, and my next video will be about that. So please do subscribe, and I will see you in our next video. As always, happy gardening.